Hello all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to Divinely Decked Tarot and Oracle Reviews done Stacy style. And today is day 2 of the Tarot Tag 5 VRs in 5 days. And today's assignment is same readings, different decks. And so I've pulled out 5 different decks and I'm doing a 3-card spread. And I thought today that I would do something on the topic of, I don't know if any of you guys have been following any of the other videos that I do, but in my Black Feather Couture, Divining a VIP Life, I do a show called Day Drinking and Tarot. And I absolutely love it because I'm combining, 2 of my great passions in life, tarot and wine. And one of the things that has come up for me recently is that I think I want to actually explore getting my sommelier certification. And I've been thinking about this for some time and looking at, sort of looking ahead to the future, what that might bring. Is that something that I really want? And for whatever reason, I'm feeling like just a bit stuck with it. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to do a little 3-card spread on it. And we're going to do, aspiration, what's in the way, and how to overcome. And so I thought, what a great way to start this reading is with the Lustrous Tarot, because it is very much that Rider-Waite-Smith factor. And Debris, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but Debris is the publisher here. I have a number of their decks and really enjoy the quality of them. So let's just see what we pull here. We'll start with the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, and we're pulling on the Aspirations. What do I need to know about this aspiration for myself? Is it going to be for my highest and best? And maybe what do I need to know about why I'm feeling, so weird about it? What's in the way of this aspiration? And then the third card is, how can I overcome it? What's my solution in this instance? So let's take a peek and see what we got. Page of Wands. By the way, I don't read reversals, so I must have just put it upside down in the back of the box, back in the box. So Page of Wands. So I love this because definitely Page of Wands is an aspirational card, right? It's saying, yeah, you are getting ready to explore a new passion. When I look at this particular card, I love the fact that it's showing him in the desert. I am in the desert, and this is part of my particular journey is that I just recently moved to the desert, Stacy, Queen of the Desert, and am reinventing myself out here, being the Phoenix in Phoenix. And so this actually makes a lot of sense because when I'm seeing this, I'm like, okay, it's targeting the exact issue that I have, right? Pages are student energy, delivering messages, but also really eager to learn. And I like that he's looking up because it is something that he has not explored before, and he's looking up to the sky for the answers. So I feel like this is an affirmation for me at this time, that this is where I'm supposed to be, that the affirmation is the right affirmation. I'm in the right place to be able to make this happen. Is kind of how I'm reading this. And I like that he's wearing the orange and the yellow. Those are the colors of the wands. It highlights the solar plexus and the sacral chakra, where our passion and our soul energy, resides, where the ego is to, sort of help move us along. But I like that he's wearing the red and the green. And I feel a lot of heart energy, especially with the green. The green chakra is healing, healer, healed. And so perhaps I'm being healed through this process. Perhaps I'm able to heal others through this process. Perhaps this is a chance for me to examine how I have healed through this move and what this next aspiration is leading me into. Red, of course, is the root chakra, but it also is indicative of passion as well. So I feel like this really is just kind of highlighting, yes, this is the aspiration. Yes, this is the passion. What's in the way for me? Interesting. Ace of Cups. So right away, what comes to my mind here is energy. My energy levels have not felt like my love cup is not full and overflowing. And, typically when we have something that we really love and something that we want, at least for me, I am a perfectionist. I want to do it right. I want it to matter. I want it to mean something. And if my love cup is not full and overflowing, then it's, not a good time to enter into something, because I'm going to feel defeated, or not have the energy to put in the time to learn or to memorize or to expand or to explore. So I feel like what's in the way is a depletion of my energy levels. And that's kind of interesting. That's how I'm interpreting this. And then we have how to overcome it. Interesting. So the heartbreak card is a card of self-care for me. And I feel like this really makes a lot of sense, right? The page and the ace, it's all about new beginnings. So it's indicative of, this is a new journey that I would like to start on. Well, how can I overcome the fact that my love cup isn't full and overflowing? Practicing self-care, stopping the inner monologue that is, berating myself for not having jumped on it sooner, removing the thought daggers so that I can heal and rest up and recharge. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to move these up, and these are going to be sort of like the base of the reading. And I'll be right back. And we're going to go to our next deck. So the next deck that I've chosen is the Artist Decoded. And with all of these decks that I've chosen, I decided to go with really different styles in the artwork and the imagery. So looking at the Artist Decoded and seeing what is coming up for the same 3-card reading, let's just see what we got coming up here. So aspiration. Ooh, all right, it's already speaking to me. So the aspiration is the 4 of Pentacles. What's in the way and how to overcome. So aspiration, 4 of Pentacles. Now, this really makes a lot of sense, because there is a part of me right now, my goal is to really increase my financial stability so that I have more freedom in my life. And without getting into too much detail, the last few years have been really challenging since my divorce. Being a small business owner and being on my own, and quite frankly, being a woman and being originally a Canadian citizen who lived and worked here in the US longer than I lived in Canada. But until I was actually considered a citizen, none of the stuff that I've done matters. So like I started off, it's like I was a baby born once I got married, from a credit perspective and all the rest of it. And so having great credit, but none of it matters, and not owning anything, and, getting the divorce, really set me back, and in taxes and all sorts of things. So it's been a journey, which I think is why this 4 of Pentacles is coming up, because the aspiration is about finding some freedom in the financial aspect of things. And while I'm not wanting to be a sommelier to become rich, I do like the idea that I can blend and incorporate all of my passions sort of under, one umbrella, and have that, add to the pile, add to the pot, add to the coffers. So really interesting that I get the Page of Wands and the 4 of Pentacles in that aspiration energy, that I'm looking to get out of this scarcity. I'm looking to get out of this, stuck in the same rut, in the same room, holding on to the 4 coins for dear life, and waiting for the ship to come in, right? Waiting for things to happen in order for me to be able to pursue some of these other things that I want to do. So that kind of really makes sense to me when I'm looking into that. What's in the way? Huh? Another pentacle. So very interesting. But another ace. Wow, right? So I'm Ace of Pentacles. It's that, planting of seeds, being open to bringing something new into the mix. And what I'm really drawn to here is, the shadowy figure is in a garden. The garden is a little darker, and the pentacle is what really stands out, what really shines. And I feel like the messaging here for me, what's in the way is me wanting to plant a particular seed. And maybe the message here is get into the garden and plant as many seeds as I can. Step out into the garden, actually get out and do some things. Maybe it's time for me to just take the course, right? Like I'm getting in my own way. She's not even looking at the pentacle. She's looking down at what's already here. And so I feel like it's kind of an invitation for me to look up, right? Kind of like what we were talking about in this reading, that it's time for me to look up and see what is available to me. Take one step. I'm already in the garden, so why not plant one more seed? I feel like that's what's sort of happening here. And then how to overcome. Here we have, the Emperor card. Interesting. So divine masculine energy. I don't need anyone's permission to just move forward and do what it is that I need to do. That's very clear to me. I need to employ some of my divine masculine energy here. I need to just give myself permission. Like, who am I waiting for? What am I waiting on? Yeah, okay, finances and all the rest of it, but I definitely have enough money to be able to invest in a level 1 course of sommelier. I certainly invest in a lot of different wine tastings, locally. And that's a little bit different. That's about camaraderie and building community and, doing my show, obviously. This is different. This is for me. It's not necessarily for the show or for anyone else. This is for my own interest. So what is holding me back? Wow, that's really interesting. Okay, let's check out deck number 3. So deck number 3 is an untitled deck from Tina Gong. I got this in a bargain bin at Barnes & Noble. It was connected to a kind of a how-to tarot beginners thing, and no name for the tarot deck at all. And it was just kind of by luck, because I have the Labyrinthos app, that I recognized the imagery and have just fallen in love with it. So let's see what's going on with this one. So what are we going to get in terms of my aspirations here? Oh, actually, this one feels like the one that I'm supposed to pull. What's in the way? And how to overcome the obstacle. Interesting. All right, let's check it out. 9 of Wands. Interesting. So again, another wand. The 9 of Wands, the control, the perseverance. Anyone who's going to take the time to find these wands, walk them up the hill, stake them out to build something, has perseverance. There's definitely a vision that is involved. And so I feel when we're talking about aspirations, that's what this card is saying to me is, yes, this is a goal that you really are connected to. You've been thinking about it for a long time. You've done a lot of other steps in your life that this would make sense to be the next step. And, maybe there's an aspect of, when we talk about control, feeling in control, out of control, what all of that looks like. I'll tell you, the aspiration piece, there's a part of me that wonders, do I really want to get involved in something because maybe it's going to require more work and more effort than I really want to get myself involved in. Not to say that I'm lazy, I'm the exact opposite. That's part of the problem, is that I always have, 17 irons in the fire. And if I'm going to do something, I want to really be able to do it right, do it all the way. I want to be able to commit to it and not feel silly. But I also am a person that has gotten to the point where, like, any kind of like traditional school or having to memorize a bunch of things, I don't know if I think it's a combination of PTSD and just no. Like, I don't want to do that. I'm a lifelong learner, but I'm a lifelong learner in terms of like visuals, documentaries, things that I can listen to. When I have to like study out of a book, stick a fork in me, I'm done, right? So I feel like that's what's coming up here. And also what's really standing out to me is the 9 energy. 9 is endings, conclusions, resolutions. And the aspiration that I've got going on here that I'm feeling about, it's kind of like ending one chapter for me and starting something new. So I have to really be ready to do that. And I feel like that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at, ooh, what could all of this be? But at the same time, I think sometimes that's what gets in my way too, because I'm like, ooh, do I really want to start this again? Because I know the work and the effort that's going to be required. Do I have the time? Do I have the stamina? Do I really have the desire? So what's in the way? The Tower. Yeah. So I feel right away when I look at this, the Tower is my sort of the past, the previous situation. I'm always concerned about. Well, I shouldn't say that. Let me replace my words. Cancel, cancel, cancel. I am coming out of a phase of time, a period of time where everything that I knew, everything that I had worked hard for, everything that I created for myself that was stable was ripped out from underneath me. And so it has been about, sort of building back, and it has not been easy and it has not been quick. So I feel like what's in the way is it's the Tower, but the Tower is also about a shift in perspective. And so I feel like the card is telling me right now, like, okay, yeah, you've had to persevere in some things. Yes, this is an aspiration that you can pursue, but what's getting in the way is you constantly thinking about the past, what was, not what can be. So shift your perspective. See that the Tower was dismantled or destroyed because you needed a different playing field to be able to pursue this aspiration. And maybe you're in a better location now. You might not have gotten to that location had you not, had the Tower. So that's kind of the reading that I'm feeling here. And when we're looking at, Page of Wands, Ace of Wands, Ace is new beginnings. The Tower basically crushes everything and crumbles everything so that you have no choice but to step into a new beginning. So I think that's really interesting as well. How to overcome. The Judgment card. Yes, the Judgment card and I are great friends. This is the Phoenix emerging, so it makes total sense for me. So I have to make the choice. Like, do you want to keep doing the same thing over and over again? Do you want to be in the same pattern or structure that you've been in for a while, or are you ready to move into something new? The Judgment card, when we talk about the Phoenix, in my Phoenix phases, we've got the Phoenix burning, which is the death card, Phoenix growing, which is the hanged one. In the tarot, Phoenix emerging is the Judgment card, decisions. You're ready to birth yourself. The Phoenix rising is the Fool, and then Phoenix soaring is the World. So this is right in the middle of the phases. And I feel like it's saying, listen, you've got the opportunity. You're in the birth canal. And yeah, there might be some 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. You could try to go back into the womb, but why? You don't fit there anymore. So, like, what are you prepared to do? persevere and move forward. So I feel like that's what the message is here, is just make a choice. When I take one step for myself, the universe takes 10 steps for me. So I feel like that's what it is. And interesting that it's up against the heartbreak. I notice like the 3 and the 2, the judgment, 22 equals 5, shift, change, transformation. So definitely feeling that these cards are aligned with the energy too. Self-care, and then choosing myself, saying yes, kind of like the Emperor in the other card too. Like, I don't need anyone else's permission. I'm the only one who's getting in the way of my choices. The next deck that I chose here is the Tarot of the Guiding Muse, Ted Sue. And again, this is a very different style to the other decks. So I thought this would be kind of a fun little contrast. And let's see what's going on here. We're going to pull a card for what I need to know about my aspiration. What's in the way of my aspiration, or what's in the way of me achieving that aspiration, and a way to overcome it. All right, 4 of Coins. Interesting. So I had the 4 of Coins before, the 4 of Pentacles in the Artist Decoded deck. Wow. Okay, and so let's just kind of use this to compare just for fun. Here we have like 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Coins. The difference in the artistry really makes a difference. So here, the figure is sitting in a room all by themselves. They've got it looks like a cup in their hand. They've got, the 4 coins around them. And there's this energy of I'm sitting in, a small room with all my gold and I'm kind of stuck, right? There's a bit of scarcity involved. Here, what we're looking at is she's actually at night. She's by herself as well. She's standing rather than sitting, and she's getting ready to put a coin into the penny jar, the piggy bank. But the coin is attached to a necklace, a long rope, a necklace, and there's a little key as well. And she still has it around her neck. So I feel like she's reluctant to drop the penny in the bank. So there's this idea that, well, I'd rather just kind of keep it on me or keep it with me because I don't know that I can trust it to be safe anywhere else. So that's really interesting. My aspiration. I don't trust myself to be able to either afford it or to learn it, to establish it. Maybe I'm worried that I'm not going to like it if I go ahead and invest in it. Which PS and FYI, I don't really care about that kind of stuff. I've been there and done that so many times. Like that part doesn't faze me, but it's really interesting that the aspiration here, what I feel is it's like she wants something. She wants to do something. She even has her hand kind of on her heart. She's still contemplating. She's not sure if this is the way to go. She's not sure if she should choose herself. And I will say to you, I do feel that. I do feel that sometimes where it's like, is it safe for me to choose myself in this situation? Am I going to feel some level of disappointment, either in myself or in the experience at large? And there's that part of me, I think, from a heart perspective, and that's why I'm drawn to this, that is saying, you can have this aspiration, but can you handle another heartbreak? Can you handle another disappointment? Can you handle it if you absolutely love it and you discover all the way in that you can't afford to do it all the way in the way that you want? So I think there's a lot there, saying a lot. What's in the way? 3 of Swords. Wow. So getting a lot of the same cards, just in slightly different order here. So yeah, what's in the way? Exactly what I was talking about. She's come in here. I like this depiction a lot because you're seeing like the figure of a person holding a bag or a suitcase. She's holding her heart. She's got 3 swords in her back. It feels like there's a breakup. Someone is leaving right? The door is opening, someone's leaving. So there's been a breakup, there's been an argument, there's been, a disconnect. And I feel like when I'm looking at this and we're talking about what's in the way, that's the word that I would use for myself, is there's a bit of a disconnect. Kind of like when we were talking about the Ace of Cups, my love cup is not full and overflowing. I'm not feeling connected to my heart space enough to be able to step in and to nourish this and flourish this. So how do I overcome that issue? Another four. Four of Wands. So this is interesting. We've got the two fours bookending the Three of Swords. So, here's maybe what caused that Three of Swords, and here's the solution, is moving into celebration, moving into a committed contract with myself, freeing myself from all of the confines, not being worried about what is going to happen on the other side of it. There's fireworks here. Just creating my own fireworks, creating my own celebration, not worrying about how it's going to play out in the long term, just choosing to celebrate it because it is something that would bring me some joy. So stepping in and moving towards establishing a new foundation. So that feels really hopeful. I like that. That's fascinating that we got two of the three cards too. Again, I love that. And the final deck is I always want to say antique, and I don't mean that, my vintage. I don't know why I say antique. This is my vintage Japanese tarot, circa 1983, and very different imagery here, which I thought would make for kind of a really cool contrast for this same readings, different decks. So let's see what my aspiration is here. What do I need to know about my aspiration? Six of Cups. Oh, interesting. So, that nostalgia, that simpler times is what I'm really feeling. Going back to simpler times. Perhaps this is one of the reasons why I am feeling called to it. Yes, I love wine. I've learned a lot about wine over the years with some wine tastings. I've never been like super committed to it, other than like I do it for enjoyment. So wanting to do it for a level of knowledge or knowing is a little bit different. But I feel like it's really interesting, this Six of Cups. And it's almost like we're seeing, I'm going to call this the sun. We're seeing the sun, and we're seeing a new vision in the sun, almost like a portal. And perhaps that's, what was in the past, and looking at easier times, simpler times. I feel also like you've got, people in the fields. They look like they're working in the fields. There's community in the fields. And it makes me think right away of like harvesting the grapes off of the vines for the wine. So like deepening into a long held tradition, connecting. Oh, why is that so fuzzy? What's that all about? Sorry about that. I don't know why it was so fuzzy. Maybe it's the black on the other card. So I'll just keep them to the side here. So definitely feeling here like some of the aspiration is to connect with my ancestry, or to connect more deeply with traditions that are connected to Mother Earth. I had never thought of it that way, but looking at this card right now and having this come up feels really resonant with me. So now I'm like really excited. Because I will say to you, like I identify as a starseed. So there's a lot about, I want to say, just sort of life in general that I don't always connect with in the ways that other people do. I tend to not take a lot of joy or pleasure in things that, a lot of, the sort of the masses kind of do. And so there's always this, okay, yeah, I can ground to Mother Earth. I'm grateful for Mother Earth. I love what Mother Earth provides, but I don't know that I'm necessarily feeling fully connected to Mother Earth. So I am always looking for ways to be able to find a bit more connection. And just talking about it now, I think that is a big reason why I do enjoy wine, because I don't drink wine to get drunk. I drink wine for the experience, for the flavor. I love to know the history of the wines. I love to know the regions. I love being in wineries. So I think there's something to that. Wow. Gotta love tarot, right? I mean, it just really opens us up. Okay, I don't know why this is being fuzzy. Okay. So let's see if we'll keep it that way. Okay. So three of coins. Interesting. So we're having some similarities with threes. Threes are all about creation. So this is what's in the way. Again, coins. So I feel like the messaging here for me is really like the creation of new money, the creation of flow of money, wanting to make sure that there's enough for me to be able to carry on this journey as long as I wish to. Also, three of coins is collaboration. And I feel like maybe what's in the way is that's what I'm kind of seeking, is some collaboration, seeking like-minded souls, and maybe haven't found the right fit yet. Also, three of coins for me is about like learning the basics and getting comfortable with the basic details to start something. I always use the analogy of I wake up one morning and I have an inspiration to create bracelets. So I go to the local craft store, I buy, whatever it is that I'm going to need, the string for the stuff, some beads, whatever. I watch a couple YouTube videos and I go ahead and I make some bracelets. And, the first one that I make is kind of and it takes me a long time and I'm slow at it. And then I make, a couple of others and I'm like, okay, well, it's getting a little bit better. And, I make 10 of them. Well, now I've got it by rote. Now I'm ready to, change up the color or change up the style and learning those ways. So it's kind of like perfecting the basics, not perfecting the craft, perfecting the basics. And so I feel like what's in the way, maybe there's a part of my perfectionist personality that's getting in the way of that as well, kind of wanting to come in already knowing some things, so that I know that my investment is going to be sound. It's going to make sense. And then how to overcome. So let's hope this doesn't fuzzy things out. Okay, I think we're good there. 10 of Wands. So rewards and the burdens that go with them. I have to point out they're in a field again. It's not a vineyard. But I love all of the red, and red is the color of wine, right? So I'm feeling a connection to that as well, and how to overcome, releasing some of my burdens. And what I'm feeling here is, if I'm going to step into this particular aspiration, if I'm going to really, connect with the land and connect with Mother Earth through this path, maybe I need to let go of certain attachments that I have, really evaluating where I've come full circle with certain aspects in my life that now I can let go, in order to be able to really move in to something new. And tens are new beginnings based on an already established foundation. Pages and wands. Pages are 11s, aces 0 or 1. That's the start of the new thing. So, I feel like how to overcome is to evaluate what's already in existence, get rid of all of that, and then, make my way forward. Get into the field. That's what I feel like this is saying. Get into the field. Take one step into the field and just do it. And oh, the places you'll go. Wow. So that's my day 2 of 5 ERs in 5 days, same readings, different decks. This is an homage to Tammy Pie, and I believe she said that this was connected to Peekaboo Rose and Somatic Sorceress. I hope I have that right. Stay tuned. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing number 3, and all I'm going to say to you is fire-breathing creatures. So stay tuned for that. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you on the next video. Take care and transform well. That's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was great to connect with you guys. Please like, subscribe, and comment for more content like this. And feel free to follow me on Blue Sky for even more content every single day. Can't wait to see you guys next week for another installment of Black Feather Couture, Divining the VIP Life.